Connor Sheehan. Welcome to Surge Day.
Thank you.
And that's the beginning of the episode.
Okay. All right. Great.
So
that was the intro, or do we have to do another intro?
No, that was the intro.
That was the intro. Okay.
And now, well, we can always do a second one. I think that one was great.
I'm here for it.
That was like a 9.5 out of 10.
That was good. The voice sounded good. So.
All right. Well, why don't we jump into the thing everybody wants to know is, where do you come from?
Where did I come from?
What's your background?
My background. So, funny enough, I was born in Framingham, Mass. I guess funny enough because I grew up in Maine, but I was born in Framingham, Mass. I lived in Uxbridge for a few years. But all of my dad's and mom's family is from Medway. So,
oh wow,
10 minutes away.
Wow, very close.
So my grandmother comes to Mass once a week, or sometimes multiple times a week. All my cousins are kind of in the area, my aunts and uncles. Most of my mom's side has moved from Medway. But yeah, they grew up going to St. Thomas Parish from time to time. St. Joseph was their main parish, my dad's main parish. But so, yeah, we're from this. What's that?
You're a local boy.
Kind of, yeah. I'm a fake local boy.
Well,
my parents are the local ones.
You've got receipts.
Yeah.
I mean, you can justify, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, I grew up coming down, for vacations, and so I'm kind of a fake Massachusetts person and a fake Mainer. But yeah, no. So I was born in Massachusetts, lived here for 3 years, and then grew up in Maine. Mm-hmm. So Western Maine, 30 minutes across the border from North Conway, New Hampshire. That's kind of the most common.
Yeah. All right.
Well-known town.
We go to a place up there. It's Stoneham.
Stoneham. Well, yeah, Stoneham's like 15 minutes from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I grew up in Lovell, Maine.
Yes. Right. Okay. Yeah, that's where Stephen King lives.
Yep. Where Stephen King lives. Yeah. So Stephen King, it's a fun story. He might, reach out to your podcast and ask you to edit this out, but it's nothing bad.
Depends on how badly he wants me to edit.
Yeah. He probably won't. So my siblings worked at the center Lovell market, and Lovell has a population, or at least had a population of 1,200 people when I was growing up. So there's a market. Now we have a lake in the town called Keyser Lake, if you're familiar with Keyser Lake. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So beautiful lake. We have a lot of kind of tri-state folks that have summer homes, or at least will vacation up there.
Mm-hmm. I know a family that goes there every year.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Yeah. But all my siblings worked at the center Lovell market, and Stephen King would frequent the center Lovell market. It was just a place for kind of just summer people not having to go to North Conway, but just pick up a few groceries. Yeah. And so Stephen King one time came in and asked my sister for a baguette who was behind the deli. And my sister's like, oh, we don't have any baguettes that are thawed out, but we do have some like frozen ones in the freezer. I can go get you one if you want. And he's like, yeah, sure. And so she goes and gets a baguette for him and then hands it to him. And he starts bopping her on the head with it and quacking like a duck at her.
Huh.
Yeah, so we have some fun Stephen King stories. But he's kind of a local too within the town. It's only one of his homes. It's a summer home. I think he lives elsewhere in Maine, maybe Lisbon or Bangor. But he'll spend his summers there, and he's a local.
Okay, I had no idea where that story was going. I'm glad it kind of ended on
it's not.
It's a light note.
Yeah, no, it's a silly one.
Yeah.
There was another time where my sister was working at a different local store that since has shut down, called the Wicked Good Store, and Stephen King was eating breakfast, and all of a sudden he's reading the newspaper and he just shouts out, "No!" And so my sister asked, "Oh, what's wrong?" It's like, they're discontinuing Fruit Loops. Yeah. So we have some fun stories. That's kind of our claim to fame is Stephen King. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got down. Just, grew up in Lovell. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I brought him up.
Yeah. Not too many people know of Lovell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I usually say North Conway.
Mm-hmm. And the only reason I know is two reasons. One, we summer there. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law have a cabin there. And the other thing is this family that I know in my town that used to go there all the time. And they're the ones that said, Stephen King, we saw him last summer or whatever.
Yeah, I was just home this past fall, and my brother's now wife, her family was coming to visit Lovell because they had never been, and they were having a wedding shower or a bridal shower or something out in towards our neck of the woods. And they were like, we want to meet Stephen King. We want to see Stephen King, because they knew that he had lived in the town. Yeah. And we're like, oh yeah, well he'll like be here sometimes, and you never know, whatever. But then my brother Zach and I went to the store to pick up beer or something, and sure enough, Stephen King's like in there buying who knows what, right?
Yeah,
But Stephen King
Slim
just kind of
Jims or-
popped in
yeah.
and then popped out, maybe some Fruit Loops, I don't know.
Stocking up.
Yeah, but then we get back to the Airbnb that they were staying at. Like, you're never gonna believe who we saw. We saw Stephen King. Like, no. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
Stephen King tourism. It's a thing there in Lovell.
Yeah, no, exactly. So yeah, I grew up in Lovell, very small town in Maine. Went to school town over called Fryeburg, Maine, and then graduated and went to Boston University where I studied mechanical engineering. So graduated 2017, went into industry. So I knew engineering maybe wasn't for me. I enjoyed the math and science. That's kind of why I chose engineering. The 18-year-old me was saying, "Oh, engineer makes money. I'm good at math and science, so it makes sense." But towards the end of the 4 years, I was like, I don't think I want to do like a quality assurance or a manufacturing job, that kind of thing. But I still wanted to use my technical skills. Also kind of had education in the back of my mind, but financially, I mean, BU is a private institution, so I had a lot of loans.
Yeah, you got to start paying those off.
Yeah, so there's no way I was going to be able to pay off the loans of being a teacher, right? So anyway, so I go into a consulting job with Accenture. So it's a pretty big consulting firm. I don't know how many employees they have now. At the time, they had probably 600,000 employees worldwide. Yeah. So I did HR consulting. Very exciting stuff.
You were an HR consultant?
HR consultant, yeah.
Did you have to fire people?
No, did not have to fire people. So I was an HR technology consultant.
Okay.
So basically, I worked with a software called Workday. So it's just it's HR software. And so I'd go into clients' sites that they wanted to switch from their old HR software to Workday. So we'd gather all of our requirements and basically make it happen in Workday. So I worked that job. It was fine. I loved the relationships and the being able to work with people. Because I knew, again, I want to use my technical skills, but even though I'm more introverted, I do enjoy working with people a lot. And I wanted a more people-focused job. And so this is kind of a good middle ground. And so I enjoyed that aspect of being able to work with people, help people, and teach people how to use the software too, while still kind of using the technical aspect of my background. So I worked there for 4.5 years, but all the while I still had education in my mind. I had a lot of opportunities to work with young people. I wrestled growing up from 3rd grade till 12th grade. So we have a wrestling program here now that I'm coaching.
Yes, very popular.
Yes, very popular, which I'm excited about. But I just had, I coached a rec league team during the summertime. And I worked at a summer camp after my senior year of college out in Colorado called Camp Wojtyła. And so just got to work with middle school, high school students out in the mountains, in the Rocky Mountains, and leading them on outdoor adventure excursions and leading them in the faith. So that was awesome. So I knew education was still there, but I had to pay off the loans. But funny enough, I had gotten to know some of the guys that started Sparhawk, so Bob Sylvain and Joe, and I applied to Sparhawk in its 2nd year of existence. And it was offered a position.
Oh, wow.
Which I was just excited about.
Yeah.
But I needed to have a tech consulting salary to pay off the loans that I had. So just wasn't the right timing. So anyway, work 4.5 years, 5 years, pay off the loans. And then immediately I'm like,
did you pay off your school loans that fast?
Yes. Yeah. Every extra dollar, the whole Dave Ramsey.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He goes snowball. I go avalanche. I just threw
good
money
for you,
at it. Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It took me like 20 years.
Yeah, no, it's every extra dollar I just threw at the loans.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so that kind of the job was never the most compelling thing for me.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to kind of have an exit strategy for the job to move on to more meaningful work, or what I found to be more meaningful.
Sure.
So I paid off those, and immediately I Google Catholic Masters of Education. And the first thing that popped up was Notre Dame's ACE program. So Notre Dame has a program, ACE, that's Alliance for Catholic Education. So they have a lot of different programs that are through their education branch, if you will. It's its own institution, actually, within Notre Dame. But the program that I did was the Teaching Fellows. And so the Teaching Fellows, essentially, you go to Notre Dame. During the summers, you take classes towards a master's education degree. And then during the school years, you're teaching at a parochial school somewhere in the country that they have a partnership with.
Okay.
And they'll match you and your skill set, your background with whatever the need is of these schools that we're working with. So the school that I taught with the school that I taught with was in Corpus Christi, Texas. And they needed a middle school math and science teacher. And because I studied mechanical engineering, they're like, okay, there's a good fit there. So I taught in Corpus Christi, Texas for 2 years and finished the program, got my master's. And I knew as I was wrapping up my time with ACE that I wanted to work at Sparhawk. Yeah. And so I reached out to Mike and applied for the job, and now I'm here. So that's kind of maybe a longer...
No, that's great. We get some background, and the fact that you were basically offered the position in 2019, you said, or
roughly around that time
before COVID.
Yeah.
And then you kind of
I'm very grateful to not have taught during COVID.
Yeah, that was we don't want to get into that whole thing, but I heard that it was quite an interesting time here at Sparhawk.
It was interesting.
Pulled out all the stops to get quality education continued through.
Yeah, they made it work.
Yeah, but anyway, so you went like this kind of roundabout way. You picked up your master's degree, paid off your school loans.
Yep.
And then came back and boom,
and now I'm teaching. Yeah.
You're teaching.
Now I'm here. Now I'm in education.
And you're the wrestling coach. And you're in charge of all the athletics, right?
Yep. So I'm the director of athletics. Yes. Yeah. So the joy of being at a startup school, because we're still young, right? We wear many hats. So I'm athletic director. I'm the 8th grade homeroom teacher. So I teach 8th grade math and science. And I teach 9th grade science as well, and do a few other things. But yeah, so those are the teaching and the director of athletics, and coaching by way of the director of athletics. Yeah, it's fun.
It keeps you busy, right?
Very, very busy, very busy. Yeah.
So do you have like, I guess we could get into the future
we can go
of
wherever
Sparhawk
you
sports
like to.
If you want. I mean, I guess what I'd like, before you get into the details of the sports program that you're planning, I find myself trying to explain Sparhawk to people all over the place, because I live far enough away, and I'm kind of not known as a private school kind of family, right? Yep. We haven't done that until John entered Sparhawk 3 years ago, and I want to know what your succinct explanation would be, so that I can use that when I talk to other people.
Succinct, okay. That's kind of impossible.
Well, if it takes 3 sentences, that's fine. I'll allow it.
Okay, the most succinct. Let's see. A haven for boys and families.
Oh wow, that is very good.
Yeah,
a haven.
Yeah, it's a school where boys can be boys and are fostered in their boyness, that welcomes families or works with families, partners with families in the adventure of helping those boys grow in that and become men, right? That's how I would.
That's good. I mean, I'm putting you on the spot, obviously. So you did a great job.
Thank you. Yeah.
I didn't want something canned. I kind of wanted to, how you say it, because
I don't have.
There are a lot of different ways, a lot of different aspects. I often will emphasize the kind of the freedom that the boys have at recess, and there's multiple recess sessions during the day, and then there's like a gym class every day, and so there's a lot of expenditure of energy that they're able to do. Sometimes in a controlled environment like gym class, and sometimes just free reign throughout the. And I say, like, they can climb trees, and they can have snowball fights, and they build forts.
Play tackle football.
Yep.
Wrestle.
Invent their own games. I mean, I see that happening. There's Gaga Ball. And they really manage their own groups, their own games. Yeah. It's not something that is kind of constantly supervised closely and managed by adults. It's the boys kind of learning. And my sister brought up this adventure play as a thing. It's like a form of education where children are generally self-guided, and they kind of explore and they take risks and things like that.
Yep, it's more of an experiential education, really. Yeah.
I mean, And so that's what I focus on. But there's so many other things as well.
There's a lot of aspects.
There's so many aspects.
It's kind of hard to pinpoint, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, we want these boys to become men, and we want to partner parents and faculty together to help them become men and to use their freedom well. Because a big part of maturing from boy to man is how are you going to use your freedom? Boys, they're told, wash behind the ears and wash the dishes and make sure you clean up after yourself, clean your room, whatever. But we ultimately want the boys to want to clean their room because they want order, or to want to wash the dishes for mom because they want to do a selfless gift for mom, right? They love mom and they want to do that for her unprompted. Now they're boys so they need the prompting, right? I mean, we're trying to coach them.
Yes.
And it's my Nana says, inch by inch, it's a cinch, yard by yard, it's too hard, right? But so it's like there's incremental growth. But ultimately, we see these boys that are just flourishing. And even within the 8th grade, they're 13, 14 years old. And they're doing some pretty amazing acts of service that are just totally unprompted. It's not like I'm telling so-and-so to do something. I had a boy today, very tiny thing, but I'm like rolling up the blinds at the end of the day from them changing previously because they were down. And the boy is like, oh, I got you, Mr. Sheehan. He's like, let me do this. And so he just starts rolling up the blinds in the classroom.
Awesome.
It's like a tiny thing, but ultimately, so helping them just grow in virtue, helping them use their freedom well. And also, we want them to guide, say, the rules per se, but it's not like this Lord of the Flies, they're doing their own thing. There's no teachers to be found.
Right.
But we're accompanying them, right?
Yeah.
And there might, the Gaga ball game most of the time can go fine without any sort of intervention whatsoever. The basketball game, the game the boys made up, whatever it might be, the wiffle ball. But it's also fun because we get to accompany them. We can play Gaga ball against them, right? We can get in there and play hacky sack with them and compete against them. I destroy the 9th graders. It's great. No, but like we can play alongside them, and they enjoy that older brother relationship that we can provide. And so it's like the freedom itself is not this Lord of the Flies. We run the show. We need to be separate from the adults, but it's this very integrated relationship that we have, right? And if there's correction that needs to happen, there's correction that is made, right? And we try to kind of guide them with charity and with a certain sense of levity, just to help them recognize when they don't use their freedom well and to steer them to use that freedom well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well put. So do you have plans for the sports program?
No
here?
plans whatsoever. We're just making it all
When's
up as
the
we go.
baseball diamond going in? That's what I want to know.
That's a very good question, Dan. I don't know. In terms of having facilities on campus, we hope with the capital campaign that we're currently trying to raise funds for, will support the growth of our athletic facilities, which would include a gym and baseball diamond.
I was being facetious about the baseball diamond.
Okay.
I went to another school around here and I saw they had multiple.
Yes.
And I was very impressed.
Yes.
And I didn't expect that to be what Sparhawk put on the top priority list.
Yeah, no, in terms of talking about the overall athletic mission, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a good segue into it where we care very deeply about athletics. One of our 4 pillars of the school is physical formation, and our athletics program being part of that physical formation.
Yeah.
But it's part of the broader picture, right? So we're not going to build 10 baseball diamonds. We're not going to be like, our sole desire is not to pump out D1 athletes. Our sole desire is to partner with parents to help boys use their freedom well and transition from boyhood to manhood.
Yeah.
And athletics is an absolutely amazing avenue to do that through, because you ask any boy what their favorite class is or some like the best memories that they've had. Most of the time it's through sports, whether it be through, gym class or whether it be a baseball team or a soccer team or a climbing club or whatever it is. It's an awesome avenue, but it fuels the overarching goal that we have there,
Yeah, definitely.
So not to go like too philosophical too quickly here, but it's just,
Well, I mean, I
we
think
want a baseball diamond, right? We want to have a dignified place where the boys can play. Right now we have to rent out because we don't have the facilities. Same thing with basketball. We work with what we have currently.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the way you got to do it. That's perfectly acceptable from my perspective. But I guess I liked what you said about, having the athletics be part of the overall picture and not to let it get out of proportion and dominate anything.
Right.
And doing what you can as a small school with limited resources to focus on the experience of the boys, the teamsmanship, the ethics of practicing and then reaping the benefits of practicing and being good at something or improving.
Right.
And so like that all can happen without, great facilities. I mean, it's just those things are nice to have.
Yeah, they're nice to have, and they will come. I hope and pray they come sooner rather than later because it makes our jobs a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But it's also nice to bring people to a dignified campus. I mean, we have 60 acres of just beautiful campus.
Yeah.
And so if that is developed a bit into these beautiful athletic facilities, then great, Yeah. Those will come. Those will come, but those aren't as important as what we're trying to do with the boys through athletics.
So what other athletic programs are there, and do you have planned for like next year perhaps?
Yeah, so I think overall, to take a step back in terms of what we offer as far as our athletics goes, I put it again under the branch of our physical formation, which is one of our 4 pillars of the school. So those are taken just as serious. Physical formation is taken just as seriously as our intellectual formation. So as far as sports go, we have our traditional sports and we have our adventure sports, which we can kind of get into as well. So each season we have 1 to 2. We're shooting for 2 for the foreseeable future traditional sports that the boys can compete in. So that would be in the fall, cross country and soccer. In the winter, it is basketball and now wrestling as well. And in the springtime, it's baseball. We're still trying to find that second sport. I would like that to be rugby. I think that'd be an awesome addition to our school. It didn't really take this year, but we'll see how it develops. Rugby is a great potential. Ultimate frisbee is a great potential. And then some of the more typical sports that are big in this area, lacrosse could be an interesting spring sport, but we really need to work with what we have. Yeah. And also kind of think about what are the sports that are going to best fit our school and the culture of our school. So we have our 2 traditional sports per season. And we've also kind of formalized, so at Sparhawk, another big aspect of the school is education through adventure. So we believe that the boys need to take risks, kind of like we're talking about with climbing trees. Yep. But taking risks in all sorts of ways, and in some more serious ways of climbing a rock face, trusting a classmate to belay you from down below, making sure that they keep you safe while you're 40 feet up in the air. Hiking, persevering through a hike, right? All these things are type 2 fun. Yeah. Where you gotta put in the effort.
I don't know what type 2 fun is.
Okay, so there's type
I wanted
1.
to let that roll, but I'm like, wait a minute. Let's explain that, because you just laid that out there.
So type 1 fun is I'm gonna eat this birthday cake. I'm gonna go to this Red Sox game.
Like immediate.
It's
reward.
Like immediate. Like there's no suffering that's involved with it, right? Whereas type 2 fun would be you're physically exerting yourself, and it might kind of stink in the moment a little bit. Yeah. So for a hike, for example, so our 9th grade next week we're gonna go hike Mount Washington. Yeah. So tallest peak in New England. Awesome. Beautiful hike. It's great. I'm excited to take the boys up in my neck of the woods too. So I'll actually stop and visit my parents, which I'm excited for. But so Mount Washington, a mile high, 4,000 feet elevation gain, 8 miles, pretty strenuous hike.
Yes, for sure.
You hike up a waterfall. It's amazing. It's not, when you're in the midst of it, when you're ascending 4,000 feet of elevation, it's not the most fun thing in the world because it's grueling, right? You're sweating and your lungs are heaving at times. Like
You'll be listening to a lot of complaints.
Yeah.
That'll be part of your not fun.
Yeah. No, that's true. Although a lot of those boys that I'll be taking up are super stoked about it.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah. There's very interest in the type 2 fun amongst all of our boys at the school. Our goal is to make them enjoy type 2 fun, or at least appreciate type 2 fun by the time they leave our school. That's my goal anyway. So that's type 2 fun, right? So you gotta exert significant physical effort. It might not be fun in the moment, but then once you get to the top of Mount Washington and you're looking at the presidential range and all these beautiful peaks of New Hampshire, and you're like, oh, that was worth it. Mm-hmm. I worked for that and I enjoy that. So that's necessary for our boys and for anyone, whether it be hiking or rock climbing or something that's like, a soccer game that you're having fun during, but you're putting in some serious physical exertion or whatever it might be, right? The type 2 fun extends beyond the sports, beyond the activities to help you learn there's things that I need to suffer through and suffer well through that when I get to the other side of this, I'll appreciate it and I'll grow from it, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a very concrete example. And I know we're talking about adventure sports, but athletics specifically is we want our boys to grow in virtue, right? The ability to suffer well is lost on many people this day and age, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, myself included, right? And all in different ways.
Well, it's our culture definitely discourages. You know.
Yeah. Any like instant gratification is kind of king right now. Mm-hmm. And any sort of prolonged, I need to work for this. And the same thing could be applied to a math problem. Oh, I don't get it. Okay, I'm not going to work on it. Or I can put in the effort that's necessary, and I might experience this small suffering of lack of understanding or something. Or I might have to spend just 2 extra minutes with dad at home asking him for help on this math problem, but then I can understand it. And now I've mastered it. So now I feel like I'm going pretty far afield, but
it's all related. It's all
but it's all related, which is we want our boys to grow in virtue and recognize, okay, one of these virtues is the ability to suffer well and to work hard for something, to see the fruits of your labor at the end of that, right?
Yeah.
So I guess full taking it back to our adventure sports program. These are all ways in which the boys can experience type 2 fun. Now, there's also some type 1 fun. So like our adventure sports, there's 1 per season. So we have our 2 traditional sports and 1 adventure sport per season. In the fall, we have outdoorsman club. So you can think of that as kind of a varsity Boy Scouts. So they're learning outdoor skills. We're hoping that will evolve into a lot of backpacking trips.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We have a gentleman, Bob Latshaw, who enjoys helping out with the school. That's big, and he's a canoe guide, and so he'd love to introduce the boys to some canoeing.
Awesome.
So we'll see how that evolves. So that's Outdoorsman Club in the fall. In the winter, we have skiing. So there's some more type 1 fun in there. Mm-hmm. I know John does the ski club.
Yep. Yeah. I went on a few chaperone trips. It was great.
Yeah.
Kids have such a fun time. It's been like. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great program.
Yeah, and it's sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say it's a commitment because the kids get back late, and you kind of like hope that everything goes smoothly, but like I just have been chaperoning and they're just like in heaven up there.
Oh, they love it.
They just go over and over and over again as many times as they can.
Mm-hmm.
At Mount Wachusett.
It's
like a little shack halfway down, or actually it's near the bottom.
Yeah.
They all love like at least once
the waffle shack. Or whatever.
Yeah. And they get like a donut or something like there on the ski slope. It's just really neat. So anyway, that's what little I know about this.
Yeah, program. And even using that with the ski program. So the boys, I mean, it's more say type 1 fun. It's not
But if they're learning.
They're learning the skill of skiing.
Yeah, it started at the bunny slope. I remember that was my first chaperone. Was like there were probably 10 kids that had never skied before.
Yeah,
and by the end of the season, like they were all going.
They're doing fine
on the blues and probably the blacks. Those kind of meld together.
Yeah, no, they do
on that mountain.
Right. But, no, and it's great to see that perseverance through that sport. But then also, I mean, the external is cold. Right. Sometimes it might be raining. Mm-hmm. So you got to deal with the elements, which is always good. I always tell the boys there's no bad weather. Whenever they complain about, okay, we don't want to go outside because it's too hot or it's raining out, I'm like, there's no bad weather. Just go outside, have fun, right? But yeah, so the ski program is a wonderful avenue for adventure and fun and virtue formation. And in the spring, we have our rock climbing club. So those are our 3 adventure sports. So we have outdoorsman club, skiing, and climbing club. And again, those adventure sports, so they serve the purpose of, one, the type 2. And it's not like, hey, like you need to suffer, right? Because they're all really fun.
Yeah.
They get you into the beauty of creation too, to varying degrees. We want our boys to be connected to nature. I mean, the natural world. And they're doing that in their free time, climbing trees, and they have their natural history class. But they can also have adventure through it, right? They can be trail running through the woods. They can be mountain biking through the woods. They can be skiing down the slopes. They get to be scaling these cliff faces that have been there for thousands of years. So that's another component of the adventure sports. And then, yeah, I think they're all just fun. They have the calculated risk that's necessary for the boys to take, right? Within reason, right? Where it's not like, okay, you've never belayed before, go scale this. Don't go be Alex Honnold and scale this peak without any gear. But it's calculated risk that's appropriate to their age that helps them grow in confidence and competence and being able to handle unknown scenarios.
Yeah, and that's huge. That's huge for these kids at their age, trying things that are a little scary. Even being kind of encouraged or maybe pushed beyond their comfort zone to find out, they are capable of doing this. And I think that's a really great aspect of your program.
Yeah. And so, I mean, in terms of the future, this is what we offer. And we'll expand and grow with the traditional sports as we grow as a school, as a student body, as a faculty body, and what we're able to offer. And I hope that these adventure sports also grow in tandem with the traditional sports. And something else I forgot to mention is that these adventure sports, so like with some of the traditional sports, I mean, I played some football in high school and I wrestled in high school. And now, I can play a pickup game of 2-hand touch or flag football or something. And I can coach wrestling now, but I'm not just going to be like getting together with a bunch of friends. Hey, let's have a wrestling match or something, right?
Yeah.
But these adventurous sports,
they're lifelong.
Lifelong. You can go with some buddies and go on a trail run, or you can go hike the Whites, or you can head to Central Rock Gym and go for an afternoon bouldering session and climb with your friends. They're really great ways to grow in friendship and to have this lifestyle of health rather than this super competitive, we need to be being on all these club teams, and we need to make sure that we're going to be most effective to be D1 athletes and then to be professional athletes.
Right, and focusing on winning.
Yeah, that's not the goal, right? We want to win.
Right, but
we want a dedicated, program, but winning's not the ultimate goal.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the focus. I mean, it's a goal, but it's not the primary goal, I'd say. And putting the sport first and the whole thing that entails, including teamsmanship, right? Learning how to practice and how to get better, how to lose well, right? With a good sportsman attitude. Those things I think are really important. And the aim is to win, but you don't always win, and it shouldn't be win at any cost. And
it's just the love of the game too. I mean, I think so. Tony Gennaro, one of our teachers here, he coached the basketball team this year, and he has been working with our 8th grade class in particular. He's been with them, so his lunch recess duty is the basketball courts. So he's always down there playing with the boys. And these 8th graders, I think from maybe like 6th grade, 5th grade or 6th grade, always go down to the basketball courts to play basketball with Mr. Gennaro.
Yeah.
And so Tony, his big thing, so he had said to me, and there's a lot I could say about his job of coaching these boys. He does a tremendous job. But one thing he said was, if they're down by X amount of points and there's 4 minutes left of the game and there's not really much chance of winning, it's like, okay, well, we want to help these boys to play well because ultimately the goal is not to win the game. Again, they're working to win the game, but even in the face of this almost obvious defeat, how am I going to play the game well? How am I going to love to play the game well? How am I going to focus on, my shots or my passes or getting my teammates involved? Like, how am I going to just grow in my prowess of the game rather than, we're not going to win this anyway, so let me just put in half effort and whatever happens, happens. I don't really care. Right? That's not what we're striving for. And so even the boys that have not played basketball, some boys have started playing down at PE that haven't played in previous years. And he has helped these boys who are great at basketball include those boys that don't play as often or have not shot a basketball before. He's getting these boys to incorporate them, pass the ball to them. And then these boys are saying, hey, so-and-so, are you coming down to the basketball courts at lunch, right? Like, that's the goal. Creating this team environment where the boys love the game, they love their teammates, and they just want to get better at the sport, which is just incredible. I think that, Tony's job as a basketball coach is kind of a little bit bigger than a microcosm, but a microcosm of what we're trying to do at Sparhawk, right? And the fact that we have our teachers there, so many of our teachers, most of our coaches are our teachers. And so if someone's noticing something on the soccer field or the wrestling mat, and they know that this boy can grow in this particular area, I can go to the boy's mentor, not only talk with him myself, but I can also mention it to the mentor, mention it to the parents, like, hey, so-and-so, he's not losing very well, or he's kind of selfish with the ball. We have this relationship between parents and faculty, and we're really trying to help those boys grow holistically. It's not just what was our record. As much as the boys still pay attention to like how many wins, how many losses.
Sure they do.
Which is fun, which is great, obviously. But we have a larger task at hand.
So what other programs are you involved in at Sparhawk?
Other programs. I mean, the sports do take up a good amount of time. Yeah. So I'm coaching a sport each season, but also involved with, say, the homeroom responsibilities of being a teacher, right? So we're going to head up to Baxter State Park with the 8th grade for our trip of hiking Mount Katahdin and whitewater rafting. So that's also kind of
what?
Yeah.
You're going to go down a river?
Down a river, yeah. Going down a river twice in the next 2 weeks. One's a little more mellow, one's a little more white. Yeah.
Man, that's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
I've done that a couple of times, but I always tell myself, I'm going to do this every year or something like that because it's so fun.
It is fun.
Even if it's not like heavy rapids, you're just going on a river and you're just, on a beautiful day. Even if it's cold and rainy, it's still like a huge amount of fun with people.
Yeah, in the moment. Fun. This past year, this last year, we went down and we go up there pretty early.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty cold in northern Maine. And it was kind of an overcast, rainy day. And we have our wetsuits on. And it's great in the moment because you're just kind of just paddling through the rapids. You're like, go, go, go. You have your guide. 3 paddles, no left, no right. So it's fun. But then you break halfway through the day for lunch. Is that kind of how you did it when you went?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So you break halfway through for lunch. And we get out of the rafts. And I see some of the boys, and myself included. So there's a fire to cook this meal, and they always cook amazing meals. But there's a couple boys that are just like hovering by this fire, and it's basically coals because they're just lighting the fire to cook, not really to keep us warm.
Yeah.
And you just see these boys in these wetsuits, and they're shaking because it's so cold out.
Yeah.
So I hope we get some warmer weather. It's definitely preferable to go maybe in late June.
Yeah.
Or July when you're that far north.
Yeah. How far north? Where do you go?
So we go up to Baxter State Park. So that's about 6 hours north from here.
Oh, that's way up there then.
Yeah. Yeah. It's north of Rangeley Lake. Yeah, it's up there. But
Why
it's
that
great.
Particular place?
Very remote. Because of the challenge of it and the adventure of it. Yeah. And the natural beauty of it. So all the boys, they go on camping trips. And this the adventure sports program is kind of formalizing what we already have with this education through adventure.
Yeah.
There's different aspects. There's field trips that are happening throughout the year where boys, we have a ski field trip, we have most of our field trips, even if they're educational, they'll dip into a climbing gym for an hour or so and get some climbing in, right? There's a lot of adventure that happens here. And the end of the school year, every grade has their camping trips. And we've formalized some fun traditions where the 3rd and 4th grade, they go to the Kankamagus Highway in New Hampshire, and they go to Lower Falls, and they do a little hike, and they do 2 days of camping. 5th grade will hike Tumble Down in Maine. Mm-hmm. So 6th grade will take day trips. So they'll go out to the Cape. They'll go to a zoo. So it's adventure in different ways. The 7th grade will go to Fort Ticonderoga, and they'll explore the forts. They'll go on a hike of Camel's Back or Camel's Hump. I forget the name of the peak. And then the 8th grade will do Mount Katahdin. Mm-hmm. And when we were a 3rd through 8th school, Katahdin's pretty strenuous. So you hike across Knife's Edge. Now, Knife's Edge, it's not as narrow as the name suggests, but it's still pretty narrow, where you look down and it's a cliff face, just sheer drop off. And so these boys need to overcome their fear of heights. If they have those, they need to persevere through the hike and to hike up to the peak of Baxter Peaks. This is the northern terminus of the Appalachian Trail. Mm-hmm. But to get up there, you hike up Cathedral Trail, I think it's called. And it's some pretty steep climbing with rocks. You're doing some 3rd class kind of climbing, 3rd class, 4th class, where you're needing to, 3 points of contact at all times. So that hike combined with the whitewater rafting, it's adventure, right? And our boys need the adventure.
That's for the entire class. So.
Entire class, yeah. It's not mandatory, but it's highly encouraged. Mm-hmm. Especially, this being the pinnacle. A lot of boys right now will still move on to other high schools, so it's kind of this capstone experience to their middle school days. Yeah. But if you continue on with the high school, which we hope as we progress, more and more boys do, we will continue these trips, right? The 9th grade trip that I just mentioned with Mount Washington and some canoeing, but we want our boys out in nature. We want our boys adventuring. So I guess that's still...
Do you ask dads to volunteer to chaperone?
Yeah, we have dads.
I want to do that.
8th grade, yeah, I'll write your name down.
Yeah.
We have a few dads that are helping out. And that's a big thing too, right? So we've already mentioned partnership with parents.
Yeah.
It's not just lip service. We take it seriously, right? I mean, the fact that you're even in here giving an interview, right? Like you'll work here sometimes during the days because it works out for you to pick up John and bring him home. You help out with pub night. I mean, there's tons of things that you're helping out with, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the school definitely welcomes parent involvement throughout the school year. There are the family formation activities. There's like a father's group. There's a book club. Other ways that they're just trying to get people into the community. Always inviting for people to be chaperones or participate in all the different activities that go on. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like the what's so unique about the school is it's a community of friends.
Yeah,
we believe very deeply in just friendship amongst the faculty, and the parents, the faculty, the parents, and the children. Right? We want to create a community and welcome people into that community because ultimately we're all striving for the same things, more or less. Right?
Yeah.
And life's better with good friends.
Agreed.
And
I think that's a good place to end.
Perfect.
That's a really great last line.
Yeah.
Connor Sheehan, thank you so much for your time and for all that you do for the school.
Absolutely.
And best of luck on your final end of year trips.
Thank you. Yes, it'll be exciting.
God be with you and keep you guys safe.
Yeah, please.
So, can we end with a Hail Mary?
Yeah, for sure.
Pray for the school. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now at the hour of our death. Amen.
Holy Mary, seat of wisdom,
pray for us.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Connor.
Always a pleasure.